Okay. I think I got it. I don't know. It's so dark. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Okay. There's feedback. Okay. Okay, awesome. Now, let's see if I can figure this out. All right, I think I got it fixed now, somewhat. It's decent, whatever. It's functional. All right, so I know Dave had something he wanted to talk about, and I haven't read the chat yet. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that'd be awesome. I know, I said something to her about it, and she responded like, you know, she was interested, but like never set anything up or anything. So, yeah, if she wants to do an interview, I would love, oh, creepy sound effects. Hmm. Let me see. Uh, oh, shit. Yeah, I don't know why this thing does that every once in a while. That's the problem I have with the last feed I try to do with it. Just let me know if it starts up again. Yeah. So I went to that healthcare. Back to that. Yeah, I would love to do an interview with her. There's a lot of questions that I'd still like to ask her, like specifically, like right now I know like she's talking about she's wanting some kind of uh like I want to know specifics on her job program. Like I know everybody keeps talking about bringing jobs here. That's always, you know, the selling line, you know, is, oh, vote for me, I'm going to give you a job, which is, you know, how we ended up with Trump, which is how we ended up with Jim Justice. But like, you know, I want to know like a serious plan from her. I mean, we should ask that of all of our politicians, but you know, I'm just interested what it would be. Let's see. Hmm. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about the rally today, which was, I don't know, there's a few hundred people there. It was at the municipal auditorium, so it was full. The auditorium was full, and I don't know. I didn't see. Here's the troubling part. Of course, Bernie Sanders came on, and you know he talked about single payer, and you know talked about, you know, the economics. He talked about the, you know, the opiate epidemic and all the overdoses. But before that is the part that really pissed me off, because they brought in all these different people, you know, from different groups or whatever, but they kept wanting to thank Joe Manchin for saving, or, you know, for voting no on this, you know, or he says he's going to vote no on this Trump care. And it's like, it's gross, okay? Because first of all, like, the only reason he's doing that is because if people are off of health care, he's not going to make any money. You know, like, him and his daughter both are just thoroughly, they don't give a shit about people, okay? It's all about the money. And so, you know, if he gave a shit about people and their health care and their health, he wouldn't be putting fucking chemicals in our waters. That's just, you know, that's how it is. And several people got up there. Even Bernie, he didn't go so far as to thank Joe Manchin, but he talked about him like in a positive light. And like, you can't do that. Like, you need to shame these assholes. Like, we cannot be polite about this. You know, if somebody comes up and slaps you in the face, you don't like pretend they slapped you in the face. Like, you obviously address that, you know, and just the way that, not only that, but, you know, what he does here, but, you know, the stuff that he said about Bernie, you know, it just, why are we entertaining these people? Why are we trying to be nice to Joe Manchin? And everybody is sitting there just was like okay with this. They're just okay with this. There was lots of, I kept seeing these people walking around T-shirts that said "She Persisted." You know, the cars had, you know, NPR bumper stickers, and it was, I even saw some people in Hillary Clinton shirts. Like, what? where do they get these people from? Like, did they bring them with them? Because I don't, are they working in West Virginia? I mean, it's insane. And what was the other one? There was a lot of, like, Elizabeth Warren, like, quotes going around. And, what was some of the other stuff? God bless it. I did interview this one guy because he was walking around with a sign on his shirt. Oh, okay. Yeah. He's walking around with a sign on his shirt that said ACA, saved my life. And so I talked to him, and what happened was he had like this cyst on his brain that, he didn't have health insurance, so then he ended up with, insurance, and like basically like his brain sits in like this plastic netting, and it's crazy, but I'll put the video up. And so he was super nice. It wasn't so much the people. I just think that they were, like, you can see where there's an obvious need for information here. There's the one group that, if you get your news from the newspaper, you're probably going to be like hardcore, Republican. And if you get your news from, NPR, you're going to think that people like Joe Manchin and Elizabeth Warren and Hillary Clinton are totally okay. And it was just really sad to see that much misinformation out there. I got to talk to Kachina Mooney. She just did an interview on Nina Turner's show about, she's got a group, and I got some contact information from her. There's a woman named Lissa, I can't remember her last name, but she has a website, Holler from the Hollers, and she puts out some really, really great information about like the economy and, basically everything. I mean, she covers all of it, and she was so nice. I really liked her. But yeah, just the overall message, and they kept saying like, oh, well, save us, like we were some poor defenseless creatures that, if we need these people, we need Shelley Moore Capito. Like, no, we don't. Like, you can't beg people. Like, I'm not one of those people. I will ask for help if I need it, but I'm not going to beg for help. Like, I'll do it my damn self if I have to beg somebody to do it. And if they're not willing to take care of people and give us the insurance like they should, then we need to take the responsibility of voting them out, and putting in people that will. I just, the whole tone of it was just, please help us, save us. We don't need somebody to save us. We have to save ourselves. I just, this is a prevalent message. Like, we just keep looking. Okay, here's how best way I can describe it is, if your front lawn, right? If you don't mow the lawn, nobody's gonna mow it for you. Like, if you sit around and just wait for somebody to show up and do it for you and make your yard right, it's not going to happen. And what's going to happen is the grass is just going to get taller and taller. And what happens when you have, tall grass is you get snakes. And that's what we've got here, because we're still waiting for somebody to come and mow the lawn. I get so worked up about it. That's how we end up with these people, is by asking somebody else to do it for us. And just because, even if Shelley Moore Capito does vote no on this, she will never vote for single payer. And for that matter, Joe Manchin would never do that. And we need to be honest about this, and we need to just go ahead and just vote them out. Let them go. Cut them loose, They had their run, and I don't know. It's just, the whole message was depressing. The whole message. Anyway, let's see. Do y'all have any questions about it? I mean, I can give you some specifics. I'll probably do like a more like put together video, a more coherent video. I'm just trying to like remember everything off the top of my head right now. Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, I think it's the Democrats that actually voted down the single payer in California. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, if you're ever in West Virginia, I'd totally hang out with you. Yeah, I mean, like, this is the thing. It's like, yeah, we're like, oh, well, Democrats are going to save us. No, they're not going to save us. It just like reminded me that like that quote from the Watchmen. It's just like, you know, and they're going to look up and shout, "Save us!" And I'm just going to say, no, no. I mean, they're not going to. They already have the ability to save these people. They already have that ability. They've had that ability all this time, and they've done jack shit with it. You know, that's what upsets me about politics. That's what upsets me about TYT. To be honest, it's because they have the power to do so many things, and they squander it on just trying to get more money. I mean, money is just so common, so common. Like, you can just make it up. You can print it. Like, what? It's not a scarcity. I mean, just look at our governor. He's a billionaire. I mean, there's a pretty good abundance of money. Like, what we need to be focusing on is the stuff that, you know, is important. But they won't, because it's not important to them. So, anyway, I think I'm just rambling at this point. Anthony Rendon. Let me see. Oh, is that new guy that they put in? No, wait. Baseball player? Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see. Yeah. I guess he's the healthcare lobbyist or whoever it was, the insurance lobbyist. Yeah. I mean, people need to start getting pissed. You know, people need to stop asking. We got to stop asking. We got to stop being nice. We got to stop asking and pleading and begging. It drives me crazy. You know, it's not. It's like, yeah, I was in an abusive relationship at one point, and like, well, I couldn't imagine like just saying, "Oh, could you please stop hitting me? Could you?" And then he just would have said, "Oh, sure, I'll stop doing this." That's not how this works. When you have an abusive asshole that's doing this to you, asking them to not do that isn't going to work. You have to get them out of your life. You have to get them out of your life. You have to lay down the law and say, this is it, you know? And we're still begging and pleading. Ted Cruz. Oh, he does. I mean, like, what? I can see it. I keep getting all these baseball crap on here. Yeah, exactly. You got to stand up to them. You put it back on them. Okay. Okay. I got something from my sister, and I want to see if it'll work. Oh my God. No, I cannot play that. Yeah, and I just want to say my sister was so awesome. She's going through so much right now. Like, she honestly, they cut her hours back. They're about ready to repossess her car. Like, they've already told her they're going to do it. I mean, it's just like any day now they're going to show up and do it. And, the people she works with are calling her a moocher because, she has, like state insurance. Like, she's just going through all this, like, horrible stuff. And she still took the time out and picked me up and took me down there and helped film and sent me the videos. So, I freaking love her, and she was awesome today. And she did all this with a baby. And she asked, like, she even asked her stepmom, for some help, sent her a message on Facebook. She could see where she read it. And then she posted, because she told her what we were doing. And then she goes, and her stepmom posts about how much she hates Bernie Sanders. Never responded to her to say, yes or no on whether or not she's going to watch the baby. And just totally ignored her, blew her off, but still, found it shitty enough in her heart to, post about how she hates Bernie Sanders. So I guess that was her passive-aggressive way of doing that. But you know what? She's a strong, independent woman, and she took the baby with her and held it down. So she's awesome. All right. Talk to you later, Yvonne. Okay. Hold on. I will be right back. I want to go check something. So I can figure out how to do this. Okay. Okay. I think I got it. All right. I found the guy. Let's see. Oh, what have I done? Oh, creative English with. No. Why is it?
get started here. You want to be on camera? Sure. Okay. All right.
My name is Jim Burroughs. I'm from Grantsville, West Virginia. That's out of Calhoun County. A little bit more. Sure.
All right.
My name is Jim Burroughs. I'm from Grantsville, West Virginia. That's out of Calhoun County. A little bit one morning in my left eye was looking that way for no reason of mine. And basically, I went to a doctor and had X-rays done. They found a spot on my brain. I had MRIs done, and they figured out that I had a cyst on my brain stem. Well, I finally found a doctor 2 years later that could help me with what to do. That time, the APA had come into effect, and I spent 8.5 hours of surgery. They put 4 vertebrae in my back, 3 in my broken neck, and my brain incision plastic down. They had a TRA malformation, and they needed to relieve pressure on my brain because there was just my brain stem anymore because of that. And among other things, but when the surgery for 8.5 hours came out, and so far, so good. It's been almost 10 years, or 5 years since my surgery, and I'm feeling much better now. And thanks to the Affordable Care Act, I'm back to work, and a productive part of society again.
That is fantastic. I'm so glad that you shared this with us. Thank you. You get started here.
Oh. Okay. I hope the sound came through on that. I know it was a little hard to understand because where everybody was talking anyway, and then trying to play that over this. I know that sound isn't really the best right now. Let's see. I'm going to mute this. I want to see if that works. Hold on. I promise this, the tech stuff, it will get easier. But right now, this is what I got. This is what I'm working with. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any other videos that are ready. Like just a lot of them was just me like messing up and having to restart the video. So I'm going to see if there's any good ones I can share right now. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna heads up, try to figure out this, the videos here. Yeah. Like, when I was a kid, yeah, I definitely wanted, like, I mean, of course, I wanted to be president, because I was like, okay, this is what you can do, and you can help people, and that's what presidents do, is they help people. And, but then I found out about politics, and I was just like, oh, well, that's not going to happen. So now I would, like, the thing is, I want to do that work, like, I want to be able to go in and, like, do that kind of work, write these bills, go out and, like, and help people and fix things. But then there's all that bullshit that's got to come with it, like I'm good at talking to people, like, one-on-one. Like, you saw that guy, that interview. But then, like, when I tried to talk to Kachina Mooney, like, I panicked, and I sounded like an absolute lunatic. I mean, like, I forgot to, and I didn't even tell her my name. I didn't tell her anything. I just walked over. I just started, like, talking. And it just, I mean, you could tell, like, you just see, like, that look, like, oh, is this person going to, like, stab me, or, like, the best in those situations. And, like, when I'm pissed off, like, I was talking to Jim Justice, right, and he pisses me off, and that, like, centers me somehow, and, like, I can talk. But then, like, when I'm trying to talk to somebody I respect, like, for instance, I was talking to Tim. First time I called into Tim, like, I hyperventilated. I couldn't even talk. And, like, I'm just not, I don't know if that's because of, like, the epilepsy or what. I mean, I don't have epilepsy anymore, but, like, when I was a kid, I did. And so I don't know if that's it, like, the wiring up here isn't, the best for social situations. Maybe it's the fact that, I spent most of my life, by myself, with my nose in a book. So maybe a little bit of both. But, I'm not the best at communication, I guess is what I'm trying to say. See, I could probably say that better if I was better at communicating. Let's see. Oh, I need to go grab something. Up here? No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. Since this was my first, event that I was trying to cover, and, like, actually, like, going in and finding people to talk to and interview, I mean, it was a learning experience. Like, I did really great with that guy, but see, he was just, like, a normal guy, like, I didn't really, like, I felt really comfortable talking to him, because, it was like, this guy's my people, But then, when, like, Kachina, like, I don't know, she's involved in politics, and it's just like, I don't know, I didn't really feel that comfort talking to her. So, I mean, not that that was anything about her, it's just, that was just what I was putting on it, But, I don't know, I see where I went wrong today. I don't know, I think most of it was I didn't feel legit, Like, you got people with, like the camera crew, like, they've got their baseball caps and their, you know, their camera, like, you know, they have, you know, they have equipment, like they look like reporters. They look like they were, like, they look like they've been doing this a while, like they knew what they were doing. And like me, it's just like I just showed up. I'm just somebody with a cracked phone, you know, trying to get some answers. And I don't know. I think I just kind of got into my own head today. Hopefully, I really do want to cover. See, they're doing another protest. They're doing, well, not another one. They're doing a protest tomorrow at Shellingmore Capta's office. I really would like to go to that, but I don't know if I want to have a ride or whatever. And apparently we had a topless march yesterday. Now that would have been a hell of a one to cover. You know. And see, like, this is why I can't take feminism seriously. Like, I used to think of myself as a feminist because I'm just like, oh, well, you know, you hear the definition and it's just like, well, feminism is, you know, we all believe in equality of the genders. Well, like, but then again, you know, and you see topless people parading around in Charleston. I'm like, I cannot take you seriously. Like, the world is about ready to burst into flame. We're on the verge of, like, a nuclear holocaust, and you're pissed because you can't whip your titties out. Like, I can't take that seriously. Like, I get it that there's like misogyny, and I used to get pissed about that when I was a little kid. First time that this ever happened, I was at the park. I was probably maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5, and my friend was there, and you know, he was a boy, and he took his shirt off, and I was like, why can't I take my shirt off? If he can do it, and then, like, you know, nobody can really explain that, because it's just like, I mean, it is a double standard, but, you know, that bothered me when I was a kid. But I'm not going to go around, like, there's just, we need to prioritize, you know? Like, even as far as, like, misogyny goes, like, there's just so much more important things than the ability to take your damn shirt off. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something on this, but it seems like, you know, like, there's just so many things that are way more pressing than that. I mean, sure. I mean, eventually, like, you know, once we get some of this other shit figured out, go ahead. But, like, I just don't see the importance of it right now. I just don't think that that's going to, like, really, well, it might benefit some of us. Whatever. Let's see. Let me check the chat. Yeah, like, that's got to have some, like, you must have, like, some ovaries of steel. You know, like, you're doing an interview topless. Like, and I've seen these before, and they're, like, you know, looking into the camera, and they're, like, totally, like, you know, calm, and it's just like, how are you not, like, you know, I mean, I couldn't do it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's true, they do, yeah. Naked News Girls. Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, I'm going to Google this. Oh, yeah. Is this porn? Or is this like an actual like thing? Because I'm getting porn sites back. I'm not sure. I know these are all like Pornhub. I don't think that's probably not the same thing that you're talking about. Yeah, anytime you type in the word naked, I'm sure like that's going to be like 90% of the search results. Yeah, I actually tried to, I messaged, move on, because, there was like a link for if you wanted to go as press. And I don't even know what that even means. Like, am I supposed to have like a badge or something? Like, I always feel like, well, I don't know anything about press or like the rules, or, credentials. Like, I know, like, you always see them with like this little badge, like, oh yeah, like I'm a person, like I'm supposed to be here. Like, I don't know how you get that. Like, what is that thing? Huh. Yeah, like, I don't know. I try not to, like anybody that's getting politically active, anybody that even has any kind of issue, even if it's small, I really do try not to, like, look down on it, but, like, I really do struggle with this. Like, I really do struggle with, like, this one, it does just, especially now, like, it just seems like the craziest thing to, like, focus on, but, like, I really shouldn't. I shouldn't look down like that. Hell, they're doing stuff that, I couldn't do. Hmm. Yeah, you know what? Hmm. Yeah, I would like to go. I would, like, the only reason I want to do that is because Jim Justice holds these conferences on, um, you know, or, meetings or whatever you call it, about the budget, and he always opens it up for questioning, and they always ask him, like, the most softball, like, unimportant questions. Like, they don't ask him anything. Like, hey, you want to get rid of the personal income tax, but isn't that, like, that's what the money that goes to funding all the programs that the people use. Don't you feel a little shitty about that? Or, I'd ask him, you don't think that I should be making a $15 minimum wage? Why do you feel entitled to be a billionaire? Or, that coal's not coming back, so isn't lowering the coal severance tax just a way of, dodging your taxes yet again? I would love to grow them. To field the questions. Uh, well, they don't. I think that they probably weed out, who they can trust and who they can't. Basically, how Hillary did her, press meetings or whatever. You're not going to let them in unless you know they're going to ask something silly. Yeah, I already got a reputation. I already got a reputation of asking a bad question with the minimum wage. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I was trying to bounce back and forth because while my sister's phone did really great video, her battery wasn't lasting very well, and so I was trying to bounce back and forth between using my phone and hers. So the videos are choppy and stuff. Like, I know, like, for the actual event, I had to switch back and forth several times because there were some people that were talking that I really wanted to get like really good quality, like for burning and stuff. But like, yeah, it's a bit mangled up. So I gotta piece that together. I'll post it. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. Like, it was just praising Mansion, like actually thinking that it was just so much, you know, corporate Democrat was just, it was just drenched in it. It's awful. But then, you know, Barney comes on and it was like old times, you know. He was like, we gotta take care of people in single payer. I was like, yes, preach it. It felt good. It felt good for a few minutes. Yeah, it was nothing compared to that Huntington rally. Oh my gosh. Like, he gets up there and he said, you know, climate change is real. And people were just like, yeah, like, and it's man-made, yeah, like, we're cheering for climate change. But it was just like, finally, somebody that isn't lying to us and isn't, like, trying to pander to us. He's actually telling us, like, he's admitting there's a problem. Everybody else wants to, like, ignore the giant problem in the room. And he was the first one that said, yeah, that thing right there, that's your problem, and we're going to fix it. It was awesome. Yeah, there's some, and I don't know, there's a lot more young people up there at that one, too, but that was, you know, at a college campus. Around here, you know, where it's, you know, coal country, it's just like, you know, we don't have young people here. They've either overdosed or moved away, or they're just, you know, not, they're too busy working at McDonald's. You know, just last week, it was on Father's Day. We had to bury one of my classmates. You know, he was kind of like friend of a friend. Like, we kind of just, I mean, we didn't really talk that much. I wouldn't consider him like a good friend or anything, but, you know, it was really sad because, you know, you know, it's likely that it was drugs that he overdosed on, and, you know, he's been struggling with it for years, and I had to bury him on Father's Day, you know, and I know that he just recently lost custody of his kids because, you know, drug problem, and, you know, so now, and his wife, you know, his wife has a drug problem too, so, you know, she's probably going to be right there behind him, and then, you know, the kids will grow up with, you know, with nobody. I mean, it's just the same damn cycle over and over again. And he wasn't a bad guy, you know, like, he was a good guy, he was a good friend, but, you know, that addiction got a hold of him. And just like, you know, some people, it's just, I don't know how. I don't know how I quit, honestly. Like, I guess it was just, I'm too damn stubborn. And I don't like needing people. I don't like begging. And that was where I was at, where it was just like, I knew I was in a situation where I needed people, certain people, in order to continue that cycle. And yeah, I'm not one to beg for help, so I don't know. But then, you know, like my cousin, I got two cousins. Well, more than that, but I've got one cousin on my dad's side that's addicted to heroin, and then I've got a cousin on my mom's side that is addicted to meth. She went to prison because she was trying to make shake and bake in Walmart. But she lives in Tennessee, and, you know, she's even had health problems. Like, she overdosed, and they dumped her behind a Kroger's or something, whatever it is, food line that they have down there. They dumped her. I mean, the doctors did not know how she survived it. And then, you know, same with the other one, but, you know, hers is heroin, and it's just like, which one's going to die first? How am I going to find it? Am I going to know about it? Am I going to have to? Is there even, I feel so bad because she doesn't have anybody, but, like, I can't have that for my kids. I can't have, her bringing drugs and doing all this, bringing dangerous people, because she's had guns and stuff pulled on her, and I don't want, I know that there's going to be a day that I'm going to be talking to somebody and be like, oh yeah, did you hear Steph overdosed? Or, I'm just waiting for it. And the thing is, she's smart, she was compassionate, but, drugs made her a shitty person. And, when she was 8 years old, she found her dad dead. And I think she was 8. From an overdose. He worked in the coal mine, and he overdosed. And her mom worked in the coal mine for a while. And she found her, when she was 18. Or no, she was 17, sorry. And found her mom, came home, found her dead. I mean, she found both parents dead before she was 18 of an overdose. And then people want to look down on her because she's a drug addict, It's just like, at that point, you kind of feel like, this is what I'm in for, And I don't even know. I didn't even mean to get off on this tangent, but God. And she needs help. She needs help. She's been doing drugs for so many years. For me, I didn't do that many drugs, and she's more of a whatever I can get my hands on at this point. And I was a very specific, I don't do, there was just a lot of drugs that just mostly didn't do anything for me. So mine, was very focused. Mine was opiates, pain pills. So, I was lucky that I didn't have to, quit a whole bunch of drugs. It was just that one thing. And she's got not only that, but, probably, PTSD and all these other, mental issues on top of the addiction. I mean, it's just, a layered clusterfuck of she needs help. But, she's worth it because, if she had all that, if she got it together, if she got that help, she would be out there doing. And here's the thing. She was actually in college for addiction counseling because of, this is what, she went through as a kid and what she saw as she tried to go the right path. She tried to do the right thing. That's what was so damn bad about it. She tried, and she wanted to save people from what she's going through. And, she didn't have the money. She couldn't work and go to school at the same time. It's just awful. It's just a mess. It's a mess here. Oh. That warms my heart when I hear people talk about their spouses like that. It's just like, oh, that is so nice. And I don't know. I feel like these days, more often than not, you'll catch people bitching about their spouses. I don't know. It's nice. You know what? People should do that more often. If I had a spouse, I would do that. Wow. Wow. Yeah, well, I was married once. Didn't last long. It was just kind of like, I got married too young. I did. Everybody tried to tell me, and I was like, oh, no, I know what I'm doing. I just thought it was like one of those things that, once you date somebody for so long, then you marry them. That's just what you do, And And then, you know, like I started doing the drugs, and it all fell apart. But, you know, we were not compatible. We were not compatible in that. And, you know, if in a few years I would have seen that, but, you know, I tried to make something work that just wasn't going to work. Oh, hey. Just, you know, the usual, talking about depressing shit tonight. I don't know. It's like around here, they're just, I don't know. I really do wish I could talk about, like, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to talk about some happy shit tonight. Okay? We're going to talk about, like, Paula Jean Swearengin. Let's do this. Okay. So I think you asked me before, are there any politicians here that I respect? And, let's see. What's his name? I think it's Mike Pushkin. Yeah, Mike Pushkin. He's a delegate here from Canal, and he's actually one of the first ones that pushed for legalizing marijuana, and you know he's got a pretty solid voting record. I haven't seen that he's voted for anything that was against the people, honestly. Who's the other one? I think it's Sean Hornbuckle. He's from Cabell County, and he's really good too. I like him, but he does work for like one of these financial places like Brick Street or something. So it's just like, but his voting record is good, so, you know, I don't know. I try not to hold that against him, but, like, I keep that in the back of my mind. But, yeah, his voting record checks out. And him and Sean Fluharty, I'm not sure how to say his last name, but he actually stood up, and when they were trying to do this, you know, for basically the new war on drugs here, where they're going to, like, double the time for being caught with drugs. Like, he stood up and said, you know what, it's, you know, you want to talk about the real drug dealers, let's talk about the pharmaceutical industry. And that's when the president was, like, gabbling. He was like, no, keep it on topic, you know, like, we can't talk about that. And he pushed it. I mean, he kept talking, and he persisted. But he was great. He was great during that. I want to see. He's got a YouTube channel. Oh, the first guy I mentioned was Mike Pushkin. The second one was Sean Fluharty. Or no, not Sean Fluharty. Sean Hornbuckle. And then the other one was Sean Fluharty. The third one. Yeah. I don't know. Like, Fluharty, he kind of comes off as a politician. Like, he's just a little too polished, a little too... But, I mean, he's done some pretty solid work, you know? There's just something a little off about him. Or maybe it's the fact that there isn't anything off about him. It just makes me kind of, Let's see. Oh, and then, you know, we got Paula Jean running, and I love her. I love her so much. Like, she is, and here's the thing. Like, I worry about this, where she's part of the Justice Democrats, and that she's going to get lumped in, because they're wanting to claim her. Now, she works mostly with Brand New Congress, but I'm afraid that, like, you know, like, she's going to get that Ro Khanna reputation, and she isn't. Like, she's from, you know, she's seen it firsthand. She's, you know, she's lived in these communities. She's lived that poverty. She's, you know, all these other people, they don't have to worry about having to their kids. She does. She sees that her neighbor's kids with cancer. And she worries about, you know, her own babies getting silicosis from our governor. You know, like, this is real, and she's been fighting this for years. So it's not like, you know, she tried to get the changes, and then because they did not recognize her, then she ran, which is, I think, how it should be. You know, if the people aren't doing it, then we got to do it for them. You know, but you know, I worry about that. But right now, if you see like Joe Manchin, he's trying to get it to where I won't run against a sitting member. That is so dumb. Now I think that's because Evan Jenkins is like, Jesus Christ. He's like, like in like these horror movies, like, whenever you take a picture of somebody, like you see like that specter in the background. That's Evan Jenkins with Trump. I swear to God, almost behind every single heinous thing that he's done, like, having the minors there and all this, and you see Evan Jenkins like right there, right behind him, like he's just lurking. Ugh. And he's running against him. And, he also tried to get on with this Russia investigation, too. I think he was trying to be, like, the inside guy. But he's a total shield for the coal industry. Like, Joe Manchin, like, we know it, but, like, he's a little bit more human about it. Evan Jenkins is just gross. My cat's going crazy. Oh no. Yeah, I try to keep up on the interviews that she's been doing. And, the stuff that she's saying is great. I don't know, like, you hear Jenkins, he's like, he picked Ro Khanna to be like their poster child, and it's just like, really, if you wanted somebody like that, you should have picked somebody, like Paula, to be your poster child, because she is your average person. She is the normal person. She's that person that, like, she's like the Cinderella story, she's just like that average person that rose up and fought it and is running and is doing this, And Ro Khanna is just like, it just looks like, oh, okay, well, this side's losing, so I'm going to switch teams. Still do the same thing, but switch teams. And Paula is actually, like, she has that track record. Like, why would you want to spotlight somebody that has a shady past that somebody can point to? I don't know why. Oh, gross. Why? Paula, no. Paula, no. See, like, this is going to hurt her. God damn it, Jake. Okay, this is what's going to hurt her, because here's the thing. We have been so badly burnt by the Democratic Party, and we are angry at the Democratic Party. We are pissed because, well, you can tell just by looking at our offices. Oh, no, I didn't know. You can tell. We're mostly Republican now. Even our governor, even though it says Democrat, he was Republican. He has Republican politics. He's like Joe Manchin, Dono. So, like, we are so done with him. And if she's like actively supporting them, oh no. This is bad. I'm gonna have to look at this. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna look it up right now. There might be some person. That's not why she ran. Like, she's not running to support Justice Democrats. She's fucking running to support the people. She's running so kids don't get cancer here anymore. She's running so we have jobs. And you know what? Now it's making her look bad if she's like doing this. Oh, God. Hmm. That's not it. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I guess I'll find it later. No. Ah. You know, Debbie warned us about the co-opting, and yeah, and that's what I always wondered about, like back in the '60s, like what happened to those people? Like, why did that? You see all this backlash from the community, like all this activism, like what is it that killed that? And it's just like co-opting, you know, you co-opt it and you crush it. Damn. Okay, I'm gonna go over to her show and search for it. Oh yeah, this was a week ago. Okay. Was it a guy interviewing her, or was it Nina?
With us, Senator Joe Manchin's primary challenger in West Virginia, with brand new Congress, Paula James Sorensen. So, Paula, thanks for being with us today. So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little?
I wonder about that too. I wonder if they're just like, yeah, don't talk to the, peasants.
His daughter is the CEO of Mullen, and she's his second top donor. He has a lot of investments in the coal industry. He's not invested in our communities. For a long time, we've dealt with politicians like him and Evan Jenkins and Billy Capito that
Crap.
have been paid for, and they're invested in their economy. And we have dealt with generation after generation of culture inside, but we've also won many labor struggles. That's not what we do generation. People in West Virginia are sick and tired of corrupt politicians not investing in a stable economy, not investing in a good infrastructure. They're not investing in healthcare. They're not investing in, and we have drug nation, and his pocketbook are part of that. Part of the pocketbook. His pocketbook. So, yeah, we're just tired of being sick and tired. I'm a single mom in Tulsa, West Virginia. I got tired of begging him every time I needed him for clean water, clean air, progression.
See, that's one thing. She got tired of begging, and that's the thing. That's why I keep preaching about tonight. It's just we gotta stop the damn begging.
What do you make of Senator Manchin really embracing conservative outlets? He held an hour-long off-the-record meeting with Breitbart. He praised about the Paris Climate Agreement. So why do you think that corporate Democrats, establishment Democrats, have really been silent in holding Manchin accountable?
I don't know why they're not holding him accountable, but West Virginia is certainly holding him accountable. Because we asked for a friendly platform, we're not receiving any.
And what has Manchin been doing in terms of addressing a lot of the issues, the opioid issue in West Virginia, the poverty issues?
Well, they're not even trying to create a diverse economic infrastructure because their funders are funded to make themselves rich. And he makes funders. Yeah, he's not doing anything. One of his funders, his daughter, Miles, it's probably he just became one. We had a marijuana center. He called marijuana his daughter's connected to that too, so innocent pharmaceutical company. It's not really going to be West Virginia that much. We need for this technology. We can build solar panels, build farms in West Virginia.
Hold on, let me see. What is it? Was something in this interview or was Mike Figueroa? Yeah, there's a lag, so I'm not sure like which one. Okay. I see. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
People are ready. People are really hungry for right. We have some of the higher rates of birth. We have cancer, asthma. Some of our children are now being put in cancer. So it's depression and desperation. I hope Americans start to notice it. Maybe that's helping us a little bit.
And you know what? And see, this is what I keep saying is because, what they've been doing to us for decades is now what they're doing to these places that they thought that they were untouchable, right? Like all these different people, they thought, they would laugh at us and, and say, well, look at all these, poor, white people voting against their best interests. And what are they doing? What are they doing? Voting Democrat? Voting against their best interest? It doesn't matter if you're voting. It doesn't matter what party you're voting for, And but I see it. I see that they're doing it now to people that thought they were untouchable, and for once we could actually be an example of progressive, of being ahead of the crowd, like the trendsetter. Like we could really start something here if people could see that we with nothing can rise up and educate ourselves and become active and take over and make these changes. We could be an example and an inspiration basically to the rest of the country. Because it's just like, are you going to really be showed up by these, rednecks? I mean, there's some communities that have all these resources and people and all this stuff available, and are you going to be shown up by people that don't have anything, or had to start with nothing? We could do this. We could really start some kind of fire here. Oh, God, I wish we could. I wish we could. I mean, we could. I wish we would. Oh, man. I'm going to have to look at that Mike Figueroa one. Yeah, you know how pissed all these people will be? Oh, you know, the people they've been making fun of for years, you know, putting down, ignoring. If we start doing better, if we outran them, if we start doing better, oh my God, we light a fire under their asses. They have to pick up their game, you know. They have to start doing better. You shut up by a bunch of rednecks. Why not? Why not? I mean, like, you know, that's how I see it. Like this Jerry Springer running in Ohio. I mean, you got a Coal Baron in charge of West Virginia. You got a reality show host in charge of the nation. Fuck it. I mean, maybe, it couldn't be any worse, right? Like, I'm at that point now. I'm just like, you know, I'm at that point. I could take a risk. From what I heard, though, he's supposed to be pretty progressive. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's basically what I'm saying is, like, if we can do it, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for these other places, you know? They're going to be showing up us. So, like, I'd love it. I'd love it. I would love to be, you know, ahead of the curve for once, you know? Like, because here's the thing, like, when you look at stuff, it's not hard to see where things are going, right? Like, you know, we know things are bad, and we know that things are going to get worse. And like, when my grandma was sick, okay, when she had cancer, I tried to tell everybody, you know, like, here's the thing. We know that we knew she was going to pass away, and I was trying to do all that stuff before she did, because I knew how devastated we were going to be, and I wanted to prepare for it. You know, I wanted to go ahead and do what we could, you know, as far as, you know, getting things ready, you know, because she lived in an apartment, and, you know, as far as, you know, kind of moving things out, you know, stuff like that. And nobody wanted to listen to me, and you know what happened? They didn't even wait for her to get cold. She passed away. It was at 7:30 that night. The next morning, it was about 8 o'clock in the morning. My mom wakes me up and said, they are giving us 30 minutes to get out of here. Now, at that time, I'd been living down there for like 4 or 5 months. And, you know, I had my baby down there, and they basically gave me 30 minutes to get my wife out of that house. And then they walked it up, and we weren't allowed to go back in. We weren't allowed to touch anything. The apartment people threw us out. And you know what? If people would have listened to me, we wouldn't have had that happen. But nobody did. And so when disaster happened, we weren't prepared. And when you look at this right now, and you see, you know, they're trying to take away personal income tax. They're trying to cut the coal severance tax. You know, you can see the disaster coming, and if we don't do something to prepare for it, it's going to be, I don't even know how you can devastate a devastated community. It's like a hurricane on top of a tsunami, but that's what's going to happen. And if we don't prepare for this, but we still have people looking for Shelley Moore Capito to save us. This shit just isn't going to happen. Okay, thank you so much for that link. Yeah, I remember watching part of this. You know, see, this is what I love about Paula. You know the reputation we have here. And she blows that whole thing out of the water. Out of these people that are gullible or people that are racist, people that are ignorant, she takes all of that and totally just annihilates it. Annihilates it. She's one of the best people that honestly could be running right now. Oh yeah, I don't know. And you know what? Maria Gano, she's been active. Like she was doing environmental activism here before it was even popular on a national scale. Like it's still not like that popular here, but I mean, she was doing it when it was like she was getting like death threats. I mean, I think she had to put a fence around her house, like a chain fence, because the threats and stuff. I mean, she was doing it back when she got no appreciation for it. She's still fighting. She's been doing it for years, and she was doing it in Boone County, which is heavy coal. Like that was, I mean, if I just had to like guess, I'd say like 90% of the people there were, had coal jobs. I mean, it was definitely a coal community. And so she was, talking about, hey, maybe we shouldn't be blowing up mountains. Hey, climate change is real. And she got a lot of hate, so much hate for it. And I think now she's actually getting some of the credit that she deserves. I mean, she definitely deserves more. People should know her name. I mean, that was some bravery. That took some real bravery. Let's see, and you'll see her, like, if you watch these documentaries and stuff, you'll see her, they'll show, like, clips of her, doing activism and stuff and talking about it. But she was always, like, somebody, like, I never knew her name until just recently. I would just see her, here and there fighting for stuff. I'd love to see her run. Yeah, I said I want to keep it positive, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't know. So that's the thing, like, growing up here, it's like, even when something good happens, you have to find how it's going to go wrong. Like, I don't know, because things always go wrong. Things always get taken away from us, and happiness and goodness is always such a fleeting thing, and, like, you try to, like, prepare yourself for when it gets ripped away, or you try to, like, see where it's going to go wrong in order to prevent it from going wrong. And so, like, you see that kind of wrong, and I can't break that habit. Because there is so much positivity. I mean, look at all these people that are stepping up. It makes me proud, proud of people here. Wow. I like the one that she did with Tim. She knocked it out of the park. She did. That's what I wish we were doing, like, after hours tonight. Because, if I'm one of those people that I need somebody to, like, bounce back and forth with. I'm not really so good on my own. I'm like, oh, God, all the attention's on me. And then my brain panics. And then I'll start rambling, and then it gets a little incoherent, because then it's just like, I got to keep talking. And so it gets a little nonsensical. So, I don't know. And plus, people ask questions, and it helps keep me on track. Oh, man. You know what? Maybe we can replace Shelley Moore-Capito with Maria Gano. That'd be, oh, man. Now, that is like a progressive fantasy, like having to, like, women that actually give a shit about us running, running things around here. Yeah, I don't know. It says there's like 4 people, so I don't know. There might be a lurker in here. There might be a lurker. I've got like 2 windows open or something. I don't know, maybe. Hello? Anybody there? Oh, no. Acior? Acior? Yeah, he was in here earlier. I don't know who that is. But yeah, like I've talked with them before. They're cool. Yeah, I've met a lot of pretty cool people in here. The internet has surprised me. Like, I've always been told, like, and like just being on Reddit, it just you see a lot of like trolls, a lot of negativity, and I started making these videos, and I was ready. I was like psych myself up for like all this hate, and then like people were just chill. I mean, like I get hate every once in a while, but like most of the time, either people say something positive or they don't say anything at all. But then again, how many people are like looking at West Virginia news? So, it's probably a biased crowd. Plus, I think most of the people came from over at Tim's channel, and they were like, Tim really does have like the best community. Like, these are people that actually like believe in talking about things. They like listen to other sides of stuff. They can change their mind, like even if you don't see eye to eye on it, like, like they're just so laid back. I love it. Yeah. I don't know, who was it? It might have been Copter. I don't know, one of them. Like, I just said something about minors. You're like, I'm so sick of hearing about the minors. Like, dude, like, what are you watching to where you're only hearing about minors? Like, you're just hearing about minors all the time. Like, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, that's obviously a troll, because ain't nobody fucking talking about the minors that much to where you're sick of hearing about them. Although, I will say that, since Trump's won, this is the most that they've ever been talked about, but it's not, it's a superficial, backdrop, prop, and that's what it was. I mean, I'm not the one that saw this. It was somebody else that pointed it out. It's like, they had these coal miners there while Trump was signing this bill, and they were wearing their mining outfit, like, if you were a nurse, if you had a nurse's there, if you didn't shut up and scrap, like, they would have worn like a nice dress or a nice suit, but they invite the coal miners, and they have to wear, their work clothes. Like, why would they have them wear that? I mean, I'm sure, like, they didn't want to wear that. I'm sure that they probably wanted to, look nice when they went to the White House and met the president. But yet, there they were as, like, costumed stage props. It was so gross. And the whole thing was, like, for a bill that was going to pollute the environment. So it was like a double slap in the face. No, okay. Might have been. It was, I don't know. It was one of them. I know who you were talking about. I can't remember her name. I don't think it was Copter either. God, I wish I could remember who it was. And I'm just like, you're just trolling, man. They're like, fuck the miners. I'm like, dude, they are fucked. Look, I mean, look. They got black lung. Most of them are out of jobs. They took their pensions away. Now they're like kind of giving them back. They're a pretty fucked bunch of people. Yeah, I wish I could remember who it was. It was just, I don't know. It wasn't important anyway. But they almost got me. They almost got me because when they said that, like I was almost about ready, like keyboard warrior, like you know, like oh yeah, we need to stick around about it. But it's just like no, trolls are gonna troll. He did. Oh man, that was bad. That was bad. That's the thing. Like I got where Ariel was coming from, and I could maybe I was like projecting on the chat or whatever, but he just seemed like he was trying to work it out, and it just like he was just kind of like a little too intense. You know what I mean? Like I try not to. I don't know. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, even when I probably shouldn't. Yeah, identity politics. You know, Joe Manchin does the same thing. Yeah, he uses that like human shield, like he puts those minors in front of him so that way you can't see all the terrible stuff that he does. Like who I want for them to run as for president? Like who would I want for president? I would trust Cornell. I don't think he's going to be bought off or intimidated, and he's got. I mean, he's just. I love the way that he communicates with people because, like, he's laid back. Even like when like Bill Maher was coming after him, you know, he was just like, "Now, come on, like you know, like come on, you know, like that was his attitude." And that's kind of like the best way to do it. Like, don't let him see you get riled up. And so, like, I would love to see him. But if I had to pick somebody, like, as far as, like, winning, who has the best chances, I would have to say Tulsi. And Tulsi's great, too. I think she has more name recognition. I think that she has a way of bringing together the conservative, because those are our people right now. The people that we have the most in common with right now are the people that we wouldn't expect. It's like, a lot of conservatives and what people would consider Republican now because they are pissed off at the Democratic Party, and so they might identify as Republican now, but, it's because they know how screwed up things are. So, at least to a certain degree. I mean, if they really knew, they wouldn't be Republican, but, those are the people that want the change, that need the change, and see that it's broken. The Democrats are they're still trying to, plaster over it and say, nope, everything's fine. The house is not on fire. And so, like, those are our people, and she's somebody that I think that most of the people she's got great policies. I would still like to do more research. I would still like to see more, like, more of a history, see what her track record is, or what she does, going forward. But, she's already stopped taking corporate money. That's great. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. Mainstream media is already going on the attack with her. That means they are threatened by her, and if they are threatened, that means she has a very good chance. They know that she could do it. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I think Tulsi 2020 all the way. She's my pick. Suppressing poll numbers. I like how they were like, oh yeah, Hillary's going to win, but we only polled people that were older, and how they fudged it for her. Yeah, I don't trust the polls. Yeah, I actually am one of those lunatics that has a landline that does like the surveys, like when they call, and so I got a call the other day about the healthcare, and they wanted to know if I wanted Obamacare or if I wanted you know, the new one that Trump's trying to pass. And I'm just like, is neither an option? Can I just, like, I kept trying to answer it as, I don't like Obamacare. But if you phrase it, either you like Obamacare or you like Trump care. And it's just like, both of them are terrible. And I tried to tell this woman, she's like, no, you have to pick one of the answers. It's like, well, neither apply. Okay, we need single payer. But yeah, I mean, that's how they phrase the questions. That's how they do it because, you know, they're obviously trying to get everybody to say, no, they want us to rally behind Obamacare. And here's the thing, like, I interviewed that, well, not really interviewed, but yeah, that guy told his story to me about how, you know, the Affordable Care Act, you know, saved his life, and that's great. But, like, for every one of him, there's also somebody out there that died because it was inadequate. So, you know, I'm glad that he's still with us. But you got to think about all these other people that are falling through the cracks. You got, you know, like, you know, with opiates and, you know, drug epidemic, you got all these things, you know, that people are struggling with that aren't, it's not good. And you've got people that do have insurance, they're underinsured, and they're paying an arm and a leg to not have insurance. Yeah. And it's, I mean, it's a giant mess. And the only way that it's going to get any better is if we have single payer. Like, everybody. You want good workers that come in, you know, and can do their job. You know how many times my mom has had to take time off of work because she keeps getting sick? And then, you know, it's just, you need your workers healthy. Duh. I mean, it's just common sense, but they don't need people anymore. People don't need people. You know, they have machines, and they and use them up and throw them out. Use them up and throw them out. There's just another. There's somebody poor that they can exploit, and you know, just like in the mines, you know, they take better care of the machines than they do the workers because it's more expensive to replace a machine than it is to replace a miner. Oh. Hmm? I'm missing some. I don't know the family here. You kind of lost me. I'm a little slow on this. Yeah. There's like over 20-some people that died. Kids, you know. And of course, it impacted poor people because you know what? Mansions that are up on top of the mountains don't wash away. The trailers that are in the valleys, they get washed away. Those are the people that get destroyed. They die, and they lose everything. And they can't afford to replace, you know, the stuff that they lost. And some of the things you can't replace, like your kids. We literally had kids swept away in this. It was awesome. But, you know, and then Joe Manchin, I'm so used to bitching about him. Jim Justice, you know, and he goes out there and he does like this flood dedication or whatever. Maybe people shouldn't be living in houses that could be like just swept away. He just, you know, like when you hate somebody and like you just see him breathing and it's just like, you're just breathing wrong. Like, that's how I feel about him. It's just like, no matter what he does at this point, like he does a flood dedication. I'm like, oh, look, you're gross. You're doing it wrong. I don't know. Yeah. And you know what? Here's the thing. I got really sick after that flood because I had to do some flood cleanup. And I got really sick, and I really do truly believe, because there's all these fracking wells around here, all these chemicals, all this stuff that is in our soil, and, you know, and in our air, and, you know, the toxic cesspool that it is here. And then you have this flood that washes all this stuff out, brings it all up. You know, and then people are wading around in it. They're cleaning it up. They're splashing in it. I I really do think, because I got to a point where I thought I was dying after that. Like, I couldn't breathe. I still have pain in, like, I guess it's my ribs or whatever, shoulder or back or whatever. I have so much. I haven't had a day without pain since then. It is horrific, and it all started with that flood. I really do think that it washed something up. It probably has something to do with the fracking wells. Yeah, yeah, and you still got people that they don't have anything. They had nothing. They barely had anything. It got washed away, and nobody wants to take care of these people. Nobody wants to ever step up. Nobody wants to do the right thing. And it's to the point now that people expect that. They think it's normal. They think it's normal to be treated like this. Like when you start realizing, like, no, this isn't normal. It's not right, and we deserve better. Like, these people don't, like. I was one of those. I was one of those people. Like this is normal. It's so not normal. So not normal. Oh yeah. Well, I started looking into it, and I started looking into all the events. I think it was dioxin, that Monsanto, where people's skin was literally like blistering. It was like Agent Orange. Like they poisoned. Motherfucker. I'm sorry. My cat just literally just fell through the ceiling. I'll be right back. I gotta apologize. Hold on. Damn it, cat. Ceiling cat. No, you do not get Levins. Hey, Eric. Sorry, I got a bit triggered there. My cat just fell out of the ceiling, so there's a hole in my ceiling. That's all right, though. Just had that to list of shit that needs fixed around here. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I kind of wish, like, I know it's like after hours, but like I wish after hours was like early. I'm so glad you're here, Eric. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. Yeah, yeah, we do. I don't know, like, I know, like, poor Yvonne, like, like, he's got, you know, his family, a new baby, and he's got, like, all this stuff going on with, like, I seriously do not think that the man sleeps. I do not know how he does it, how he even has the time. I might have been onto something with the Bizarro Yvonne, because, you know, there has to be two of them to be that damn productive. Like, I can't get half that shit done in the amount of time that he does. Um, yeah, like, I definitely want to do things on Sunday. That'd be awesome. Yeah, like, eventually, when I get, you know, better set up, I'd like to do, what I want to do is a live stream every day. Like, at least just to hit, like, maybe not anything in depth, but, you know, how we do after hours. Um, and then before that, it's like Tim's show. And then, like, I wanted to do something like in the evening time. Just kind of like a brief synopsis, you know, of like, hey, here's some, you know, stories from today or whatever. Here's what's going on, and let's kind of talk about it or whatever. But, you know, like, my setup right now is just, it's trash. Yeah. He must be like a really good multitasker. Like, I don't know, like shave and like feed the baby at the same time or something, you know? I always like that about sharks. Sharks, like, they shut off only half of their brain because they can't stop swimming or else they'll die. So, like, they constantly have to be awake to swim. So, but they shut off half their brain. So it's just like, you know, I wish I could do that. Kind of just like shut it off and just kind of go on autopilot and, you know, still be able to do things. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, that's a great idea. I'd love to do that. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. It'd be a 24-hour news thing. And I think that's what you and Jamal were talking about. Yeah, that was the problem I was having with, uh, oh man, I was so disappointed on West Virginia Day. Like, I wanted to do like a live stream. There was so much I wanted to talk about, and I just could not get it working. It was my computer. It was, I don't know. I think I'm running like a really old version of Windows. It keeps telling me to update to like Windows 8.1, but every time I try to do it, it keeps like sending me to the Microsoft website, and then I'm like not seeing the links or whatever. I don't know. I am like a mama when it comes to this stuff. I do not know or understand any of it, and I have very little patience for it. I get very frustrated, and it's just like all these like acronyms and like, oh, I don't know, CPUs and it's a whole language, and I don't understand it. I don't have patience. Yes. Very, very technologically challenged. I don't know, man. Like, some people can, like, afford to, like, get the gadgets, and it's just not something that ever, like, held my interest because, like, I could never afford, like, any of this stuff. Now, I know if you build your own computer, it's fairly cheap, but, you know, yeah, I never kept up with tech enough to, like, get into that. Like, okay. Did you ever try to use web TV, or have you ever heard of it? Yeah, like, time is a huge factor. I have early mornings and late at night. Basically during the day, I have a 4-year-old that's here, and then I have to go up to visit with my older son up to my mom's house, and you know, like, it's like a 30-minute drive to get up there, and so like my time is so consumed with that, and just like even with just research, because you know where I didn't know any of this stuff just a few years ago, I knew nothing. Like, I've had to start from scratch and really dig in with research to understand this stuff, and I still have to do a lot of research before. Like, I don't really like to come on and just like talk about stuff until I don't like to speculate a whole lot without having facts to back it up. I don't like that, because that's the biggest problem we have here is people that are misinformed and people that are uninformed. And I see like how dangerous misinformation can be. Like, if you got an NPR bumper sticker, like, you are seriously misinformed. Like, that's what was that. Oh my God, it was like neoliberals. Yeah, I think that's the best way. But they weren't like, I don't know. I wasn't angry at them or anything. It was like, I understand how, if that's your source of information, like, I understand where you can very easily be misled. You know, where you could think, you know, Elizabeth Warren is like the patron saint of progressives. So, you know, it's not that, it's the media that pisses me off. It pisses me off that, like, there are people walking around with all this wrong information. And then they vote for people that just hurt them. Yeah. Yeah, I do think it is better because, I mean, look at all this that's going on with, like, Claudia. You know, like, she reacted. I still haven't seen it, but just, you know, from what everybody's saying, it's like, you know, she got pissed and she made a video, and now, like, look at what's happening, you know? But at the same time, you gotta have, like, that human reaction. Usually, like, I try to do research, and then while I'm talking about it, I end up getting pissed off and then, like, reacting. I found one. I really do need to post this. It was an audio clip. I don't think I hadn't meant to record myself, but I was watching the video of Jim Justice, where he used the poop to to veto the budget. And oh my God, it was so funny. It was so funny because I didn't know I was recording myself, and I was like, no. All I heard was like silence, and all of a sudden I hear, no, Jim, you can't just put poop on stuff you don't like. You can't do that. No. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's good just to have that reaction. But yeah, you gotta be able to back up some facts. Yeah, I think if you rely too heavily on like reaction, you're gonna have to do a lot of retraction videos. You know, like, cause it's just human nature, man. Like, when you get upset, like, you start saying stuff that's more feeling than facts. But oh my God, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, this is real life, stuff that was with consequences, and it's hard not to get riled up when you see this stuff. I I have to confess, I have not been able to watch some of your latest videos, and I watched like the first few that you did. I really like your videos too, but I haven't watched anybody's. I haven't kept up with Tim's or anything. Like I've been doing like this live stream, and then there's research, and then I'm trying to work on my setup, and like there's just so much to do. Like I can't even keep up with like my YouTube anymore. Yep. And you know what? And your videos are really short too. So like, I like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Like either tonight or tomorrow. I'm definitely gonna do that. Like I used to, like I would just sit here and like refresh and like, like with like Debbie's videos. I was always like, I'm behind like several videos behind on Debbie. I've kind of learned to multitask while we're doing like after hours, because like while we're on there, I'll try to like edit videos or like just research and stuff while we're on there, because there's usually like a pretty good gap of time in between like when I'm talking. Although the last stream we did, I did talk quite a bit. Um, yeah, I don't know, I always feel like I'm like talking too much. Yeah, I don't know, Bernie. It's hard to like actually go with fact and not like let feelings cloud it, because you know I really do like Bernie. I really do. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be in this position right now. I wouldn't know any of this stuff. I would still be spending most of my time playing video games, and you know I wouldn't know any of this. I wouldn't be active at all. And so like yeah, I have a soft spot for him, and it's a blind spot. It's a weakness. Uh, but like when he starts talking Russian and stuff, it's just like obvious. It's like, dude, stop it. Like I understand, like Nico made a lot of sense as far as why he's not talking about like the DNC suit and stuff. It's like if you're in the middle of a suit, I understand like you probably can't talk about it and stuff, but like what? And I kind of get why he goes along with the Russia thing, like if it's just to get the media time, but like what are you doing? Like what's the point of getting airtime if it's just going to be used for Russia? And I mean, what good is it going to do if we get single payer if we all died in nuclear holocaust with Russia? Like it's like, why is he doing this? And I really hate to speculate on like people's motivations, because that's not fact. Like I can't be in his brain. I cannot. And it's just like, for me, it's like a waste of time. Like we could sit there and like talk about why he's doing something, but at the end is we're not going to know. We're not ever going to know for a fact until he comes out and says it, or whatever. So like I try not to go there. I just try to, like when he does BS, I try to call it out. Hmm. Yeah, because I did the same thing. Now I was seriously uninformed when it came to Obama. Like my brother, he was like he's autistic, and he gets these fixations. And sometimes like it used to be for him, like, I wouldn't say politics, it was like more like history and stuff. And he's like 12 now. So, you know, I don't know, this was a couple of years ago. And he kept telling me about how Obama was just the worst. He was Obama. And I was like, oh, come on, you don't know what you're talking about. And yeah, I mean, he wasn't a bad president. I mean, he wasn't a good president, but he didn't really do anything to hurt us. And like I said all these things that I'm like, oh my God, I had to go back and I had to tell him, dude, you were right the whole time. He was terrible. You were right. But I fell for the charm. I fell for the charm. Yeah, one of my exes tried, like, he's into politics now, and he's like a big libertarian. And I remember saying something on Facebook about, oh yeah, there's, same old. They're talking about, deregulation is good. He's like, yeah, well, free market, blah blah blah, and the Koch brothers, and they're good people fighting for libertarian values. I'm like, oh, what? Like, I don't remember you being this dumb when you dated. Like, how can you fall for that? How can you? I mean, I don't know if he never struck me as the type that would be a sellout. I don't think that he never struck me as the type that would be like that was stupid. Like he was a very smart guy. So I find it very hard that he's like actually falling for this stuff. But I don't know. It's weird. Like, how do you defend the Koch brothers? Like, there's, like, evidence, like, they poison people, they have killed people, they are out only for themselves. Yeah, and even if like, the Koch brothers do believe this stuff, the thing, I mean, you can see this is what happens when there is no regulations. Like, there are people that will exploit that and will use that to hurt and kill people, So I don't see how you can see that and say, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, but like, I spent, like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes trying to get into this dude's head again. Like, I was like, okay, like, here's all this stuff that I know about him. And, like, he was never, like, cruel or anything like that. Like, he always, like, was seemed like a really decent guy. But, like, shit, dude, like, you're taking up the Koch brothers, and that kind of makes you a crappy person. Yeah, but I just, like, can't waste time getting into people's heads. It's just, like, I can't do it. I mean, I guess you kind of have to a certain degree. I don't know. But I'm not going to chase my tail around it, Mhm. Yeah, and they are, like, the bully kid with, like, the giant magnifying glass. Just focusing in on us. Frying us up. Oh, yeah. I could probably turn my video back on. The cat situation's down. I don't know. I kind of felt a little more comfortable with the camera off. I don't know. I gotta get used to this. I was just like, I've always been so weird about attention. Like, I've always, like, actively sought, not getting attention. Like, avoid it at all costs. And so it's just like, when there's, like, video and, like, all this, it's just like, all the attention. It's like, freaks me out. I think my camera's moving again. I don't know. I ran out of tape, so I was trying to use, like, some of those old tape that I used before, and it's kind of like, I don't know, it's tape very crooked and awful. yeah, I don't know. I think it has to do with the fact that I've always spent more time reading. Like when I was a kid, I was never one of those kids that like wanted to go and play with other kids. And like I'd rather be reading or doing something like, I don't know. Like I need to get over that though. Like usually, here's the thing. When you find a calling in life, like it's just like, okay, this is what I was meant for. Like this is what I was meant for. You know, this right here. I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's like reporting, if it's what it is, but it's in this genre, you know. But in order to do this, I have to get better at communicating, and I have to get better at, like, I don't know, at time management or whatever this is. I don't know. I don't know. But, like, ever since I was a kid, I mean, here's the thing. When I was just a couple of weeks old, my grandma would set me up on the kitchen table, you know, in my, you know, car seat or whatever, and she'd read the newspaper to me. And as I got older, we watched the news together, you know, the local news every night. The first crush I ever had was on our news anchor, Tom McGee. And, like, I was like, oh, my gosh, he's so dreamy. And, like, I was in the 5th grade. I got to go down and meet the Sandra Cole and Tom McGee, and I was just, like, so, like, what is that, like, starstruck, you know. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here with him actually in person. Like I couldn't even like say anything. I was so like, oh my god, it like blew my mind. And I mean, we would watch like court cases. I mean, I've always been intrigued by this stuff. But then I don't know, like when I realized all this, like the corruption with politics, and I stopped watching the news, and I gave up on that. But then like after my grandma died, you know, she always said, you know, just be true to yourself, do what makes you happy, and you know that's what made her proud. You know, if I was doing that, she was proud of me, and that's what she'd always ask me: does that make you happy? Is this making you happy? She knew I always struggled with that, and this does make me happy. It makes me so happy to be able to connect with people and talk about this stuff and find solutions and like really like get to like the meat of what's going on. And so like, this is what I was meant for, but at the same time, I'm terrible with people. I'm terrible at communicating. I still have so much to learn. I have so much to catch up on, and like, it's crazy to think like this is the thing that I was meant for when I suck so bad at it. But I don't know. I mean, the only way you get better is if you practice. So I guess that's what I'm doing. I don't know. So I always appreciate constructive criticism. I know, like, my channel's a bit all over the place. Some of it's commentary, some of it's, like, just funny little videos. Some of it's, you know, like, I try to, like, be legit, like, you know, cover the news, like, seriously. And I don't know. I don't know what the style is. I don't know what I'm doing or how I'm going to do it, but F it. You know, I'll figure it out. I think I overthink it. I think, maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm still new to this, so I gotta figure it out. I was like freaking out because I did such a crappy job earlier at that event, and then I was like, you know what? That's my very first event. You know, I gotta cut myself some slack here. Nobody ever gets on a bicycle and just takes off and, you know, doing BMX tricks. You know, like you gotta work yourself up to it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I keep saying that, like, I don't know, I guess I just felt like an outsider, you know, I just kind of, like, felt like it's funny because I've never done it before, and I didn't know what I was doing, so it's just, like, I always feel like this weird, like, I don't belong here kind of thing, you know? But yeah, if I just do it more, I'll feel more comfortable with it. I'll maybe eventually fake it till you make it, right? There you go. Independent outsider. There you go. Damn, that's a good one. Too bad it's taken. I don't know. Like, I sat there. Oh, my gosh. I tried so hard to come up with a name. I was like, no, that one's not good. And this one's, like, cheesy. This one doesn't stick out. And then, like, I just kept, like, thinking, like, rednecks. Those are my people. Those are my people, right? And, like, and they get such a bad name. And then it's really not a bad name. Rednecks are, that, everyone should strive to be a redneck, you know? They stood for so many good things. Like, when all the odds were against them, they fought for, I mean, what did they fight for? I mean, they fought for living conditions and maybe kids shouldn't be in the mines, you know, it's stuff like that. It's like common sense things that people take for granted now. And it's just like, yeah. And they did it, and they didn't do it for like, oh, just the whites. No, well, like, we were some of the most damn progressive people around at that time, you know? But then, you know, we get all this bad rap, and then, like, and nowadays a redneck is, the people here, even that call themselves rednecks, they don't even know their own history. It's really, I mean, I didn't know it. And it's really sad because they say, that, oh, I'm a redneck, and they think that that means you drive a four-wheeler or you have a truck and, you know, you have a Confederate flag, you know, in the window of your trailer, you know, like, that's not a redneck. They take pride in their ignorance. And I get it. It's just like, you know, when the system wants, when you can't go to college, when there's no point in going to college, yeah, like there's a backlash, and you just, you know, you hate that thing, and you hate the thing that you can't have, and it's, people need to, they can still have that, you know, just because you don't go to college, it doesn't make you stupid. And see, that was the thing. Like, my grandma always pushed that with me. She always said, you know, if you learn, you don't have to work hard. And I've seen her, you know, work herself to death. I mean, she would go and clean people's toilets, and they wouldn't let her use toilet brushes because they didn't want toilet brushes seen in their house. So she'd have to wash their toilets with her bare hands, you know, stuff like that. And so she really pushed education, but not in a pushy way. Like, she made it fun, but like, it was always so important. Like, college was never a question to me. It was always like, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to earn respect. I'm going to earn a living, and you know, I'm going to be respectable, you know, like productive member of society. I'm not going to be, you know, some degenerate that doesn't go to college. And like, I did not understand any of that. Like, I honestly thought that, like, having a degree, like, that was like your proof of like, hey, you know, like, I did my work, I learned what I was supposed to learn, and now here's my good job. You know, like, I really did not know. Hell, I applied at WVU, they accepted me up there. I did not understand any of that stuff about how much it cost, or, I don't know, like, I thought that since I applied, it was like, they let me in, but then they were like, okay, now we want money if you want to keep going here. And I was like, oh, shit, I don't have any of that. So that lasted like one semester. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But, yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh, yeah, oh, I guess you do want money. I don't know. That's something I don't have. It was like, I don't know, it was like $4,000 or $6,000 at the time, and now it's something like $8,000, I think, that I owe because of interest and stuff, because, you know, when you don't have money, you got to pay more money. What, to the west, yeah, it's a bit of a joke. I mean, I did that video where I talked about Heather Brush, and they just gave her, she only did half her credits, and they gave her a degree, but, you know, she was the governor's daughter, so, of course, you know, she doesn't have to do it. as far as, like, classes and stuff, like, I remember sitting in a psychology class, and the guy that was teaching it didn't know how to say hypotenuse. Like, he was like, I don't know that H word. I was like, you put it in the slide. Like, I don't know, if you're putting together a presentation and you, like, type it out and stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm going to have to say this, but I'm not going to figure out how to say this. Like, that guy was a joke. But some of the other classes I had were really good. But now knowing what I know about politics, I see, like, okay, the football stadium is the Milan Puskar Stadium. And then you got the Milan Puskar. If you could say that feeling one more time. This is my life. This is my life of killing cats. What is your problem? Anyway, but knowing what I know now, yeah, it is a joke because I see where they get all this money. I see their relationship with politics, and it's gross. And I wouldn't go there now, knowing what I know about them. I wouldn't put any money towards them, and I'm not paying my debt back. You know what? They can they can deal with that. Whatever. Yeah, I ain't got any money. I don't have money to pay the bills I got right now. Like, seriously, I gotta find a job, and I'm freaking out, and I'm a little depressed about it because, like, I've been making do, like, just, I used to do, like, scrap metal. There's not much money in it now, just because the prices have gone down, because everybody around here is scrapping, because nobody's got jobs. And so, I used to do stuff like that, and, make a little money here and there, so I could stay home, with my kids. And now it's like, I want to stay home so I can work on this. But, like, I seriously got to get some kind of job because my bills are, I didn't even check them because it's just depressing because I know it's going to be shut off. Like, I'm not going to have utilities for very long right now. But I need an ID, and in order to get an ID, you kind of have to have money. And, Jim Justice, my governor, just jacked up the DMV prices, so God only knows what it costs now. Last time I went and got my license, it was like $25 or something. So it's probably something like $50 now. But so I gotta find money in order to get a job so I can make money. It is the most infuriating thing in the world. So yeah, I don't know how I got started on that. I don't know. I got a little sidetracked there. Yeah, and it's so depressing because I know I have to go to work some really awful job because that's the only thing that we have here. So I'm going to either have to work for some corporate master like freaking Walmart, or I'm going to have to work for like McDonald's, and it like a part of my soul dies every time I think about it. Oh God, 90,000. Oh my. Oh. Let me tell you, I used to have a house, and my house cost $60,000. It was $64,000, I think. You could buy a house and a half with that. Holy shit! $90,000. I can't even comprehend that amount of debt. That is insane. Oh my God. Whoa. Dude, that's like a house and a nice car. Like, I'm sure you probably sat there like, with $90,000, I could do this and this. Like, I'm sure, like, when you have debt like that, you probably sat and thought about all the different things you could buy with it. But, oh my God. One of my friends that was up there at WVU, he was up there like 8 years or something. He kept changing his majors, and he just kept getting loan after loan. He bought a new car with student loans, a brand new car. He just got a student loan to buy a new car. I would hate to think about what he owes. It is probably like I mean, he didn't work or nothing. So, like, not only was it, like, for college, he bought a car, and he was just like, F it, you know, just, like, loans for everything. And, oh, my God, I'd hate to see what his was. Damn. What'd you go to school for? That's one expensive piece of paper. And, like, I wonder about that because, you know, a lot of this information, ooh, you, you wouldn't believe the amount of people I've worked minimum wage jobs with that had master's degrees. I mean, it is a sad amount. Like, I've worked at Target with people that had masters. I've worked at, you know, as a backer with people that had masters. I washed dishes next to people that had master's degrees, and it is like if you have a master's degree like that, you put a serious amount of work into that, a lot of work and a lot of time. So that obviously means like these people had like some kind of dedication or passion for this subject, and they're wasting it. They don't even get to use it after all that. Like you have all that debt, and you have all this drive to do this thing, and then like you don't even, and for what? So you can wash dishes like that? It was. But you know, I think that's more the fact that they didn't want to relocate, and you know, when you live here, when there's no opportunities, and the jobs that we do get here, it's the good old boy system, and it's all these rich people that you know out from outside the state that get it. They literally bring people in to take these jobs because there are people trained here that can do it. Wow. Well, I mean, at least you get to. I mean, it's good you at least get to use it. You know, shit. 90,000. Like I have relatively small debt, just because you know nobody wants to give poor people like loans. Um, so like I've never been one to actually be able to like qualify for a loan, but you know I've gotten a few loans. I got some car debt. You know, my car got totaled, and like you know I had to pay it off, and then I've got like a bunch of like school debt, and that's another thing that like I can't get back into school because well I went to WVU, but then I also went to a community college here in Charleston, and I really enjoyed it. But this was like at the height of when I was addicted to drugs, and like of course I failed. Like I mean I crashed and burned, but you know, I would like to. I love learning. And you know, there's just some things that you just can't do unless you get that piece of paper. You know, and like my thing was, I wanted to go into nursing. Now I don't. I mean, I kind of like picked nursing as like a backup because like I wanted to help people still, and like my mom, you know, worked in the health field, and it just felt kind of like natural to do it. But I mean, this is really where my passion's at. But you know. If this never paid out, I probably, you know, would go back to it. It wouldn't be a bad backup. But yeah, I mean, I guess that is probably why I didn't do so great either. Is that you know my heart wasn't in it like it is this. I did not study, you know, for like these tests like I study the news, you know. And if you don't want to do it, I mean, you're just not going to do it. I mean, you're just not going to do it well. Well, see, I never learned how to manage money either because I never had money. So we're in the same boat on that. Like, you know, it's like, I don't know. I've never had money. So it's like, what do I do with it? I don't know. Like, I am really bad about that. Like, I know I should probably spend the money I get better, but it's just like one of those things, like, holy shit, I've never had this. Like, I would have spent it on, like, something, and I usually end up spending on something bad. Like, you know what? You never know. I mean, it's not like you come off as some, like, you know, privileged asshole. Like, I would imagine, like, you came from pretty similar background to me, you know, like, I mean, you're very down to earth. It's not like it's, like, screwed up your brain or anything. I've known people that they were seriously, I could not listen to them. Like, after I found out, like, they would tell me about their French coffee press and stuff like this, and, like, I'm like, dude, do you even, this is nothing, like, what? Like, they were talking about, like, their French coffee press thing wasn't working, and it was just the absolute worst. It was just like, they were just so upset. And I'm like, dude, there's real problems right now. Like, I can't afford to park my car here. I can't afford to put gas in my car and make the car payment. And you're bitching about your coffee maker. Like, it just makes some people just so out of touch. But you know what? That's their weakness, you know? They're soft. They don't know what the struggle is, okay? And see, people like us, we can survive. We could survive. They can't. If they lose their money, they would not know what to do at all. They wouldn't know how to function in life. I mean, that's like, you got somebody like Jim Justice, if they threw him out on his ass, took everything in, he couldn't survive in that. But you know, it's like, if I got money and it got taken away, it's just like, well, it's just back to doing what I was doing before. So it's kind of like, you know, I got an advantage. And that's something that it will always hinder their thought process too. You know, believe me, I have sat here and I have tried to point out, like, try to make a list of their weaknesses, because that's what they do to us, right? And they use our families against us. You know, they know that if you have a family, that you're going to work in unsafe conditions so that way you can, you know, put food on the table. So, you know, we have to do that same thing. You know, we have to go after their weaknesses. And so their weaknesses are more like ego. It's, you know, their privilege is their weakness. They're like, they can't stand criticism. I mean, they're so weak inside, you know. Like when Joe Manchin got questioned, you know, he's like, well, fine then, just vote me out if you don't like me, just vote me out. Like, I'm not going to change. Like, he got so offended. And, like, that's where we got to hit him. That's where we got to hit him. You know, it's their money, it's their privilege, it's their weakness. And I'm trying to plan it, because that's the only way that we're going to win is we have to go after, like, the corporations. We have to go after, you know, I really do believe that these politicians, they're middlemen. I don't want to deal with a middleman. It's not going to do anything. I could go after, you know, it's like these cops. They can go after, you know, the guy that's selling pot on the corner, or you can go after El Chapo. Who are you going to go after? If you really want to quit, you know, make it stop, are you going to go after the corner dealer, or are you going to go after the kingpin? I want to take it to the source, and I want to go after them. And see, what these politicians don't understand is these corporations, they're all about profit. They're all about bottom line. They have no loyalty. They have no sympathy. And so if they think that they can save a buck by cutting out the middleman and running for office themselves, then they will. And we're seeing that now. They're cutting out the middleman, and they're running for office themselves. And if these politicians were any smarter, they'd shut it down. But they're not. And they think in short term, and they think, you know, oh, got to get that next fix. Got to get that next donation, you know. So I got to keep doing what they want me to do. And then they look like crap, and then they can run against them And that's how Jim Justice is governor, you know? Yeah. Well, isn't that what those Iran people did? Like, you know, like, wasn't there a few of them that just killed themselves? They could not imagine. They would rather die than live a life like us. I mean, they would still have it. I still think that they'd have a decent amount of money, you know. Everybody gets that golden parachute or whatever, but, like, they have to live like an average wealthy person. Oh, my gosh. They might actually have to work for a living. They can't live with it. They'd rather die. I'm going to have to check that out. Zephyr, teach out. Ooh. Damn, I love that. I love that. Yes. Yeah. I don't want to talk to the puppet. I want to talk to the puppet master. They're the one pulling the strings. Like that. Yes. Oh, damn, that's good. I don't know. I don't know what. I'd probably vote for somebody like that. It's like, give me the manager. Give me the manager. I want to talk to the manager. Yeah, and you know what? And I know I say this, but I have done very little research into some of these corporations. I've started on it because most of but after I learned so much about politics, I'm like, okay, now I see. I need to look at these people, and like I need to learn business laws. I need to learn about tax codes because that's how they all operate. Those are the rules and for how they make their decisions. If you know the tax codes, you're going to know what to expect with what they're doing. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, at that rally, that's what I just felt like a total. I don't know. I talk to like lefties or whatever, and they make me feel like they make me feel like I'm basically like a conservative. But then I went to that rally today, and I felt like like a communist, like just totally just so like far left, like hippie, like I see all these people in their Hillary Clinton t-shirts, and I'm like, what bizarro world did I just walk into? Like outside it's Trump country, and then you walk into this gymnasium and it's just like you're literally wearing a Hillary Clinton t-shirt. Like you get your ass kicked here for something like that. Nah, you know what I mean. Damn, it's already 2 o'clock in the morning. This is billboard. Yeah. Oh, it was surprising the amount of Elizabeth Warren, like she persisted. It was on T-shirts, and Planned Parenthood was pushed big time, and I think that really hurt them at this rally because, like, here's the thing: Planned Parenthood does not speak to people here. Okay, because first of all, you say Planned Parenthood, automatically people think abortion, and I know like they do so much more than that, but that is what these people have been taught. Planned Parenthood kills babies. Like that's just what. And as religious as we are here, it does not sit well with people. And then, I don't even know where there is a Planned Parenthood around here. Last time I checked, I didn't think we had one, but we might now. But they just they had booths set up and all these people in Planned Parenthood shirts, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not. Talk to me about like cancer, or cancer treatments, and how are we going to do what that means in terms of if we have if Trump Care gets implemented, how is that going to affect people with cancer? Because that is something that touches everybody here. We have a 50% higher cancer rate. And so, yeah, if you don't have cancer, somebody you know has cancer. And if you don't have cancer now, you will in the future. It's just a matter of time. every time I get a little ache or pain or anything, I'm just like, oh, that's probably cancer. You know, I mean, that's just, it kills everybody here. I mean, I've had classmates in school. I remember being in high school and in middle school, and people tell me about their, you know, little brother dying from leukemia, and classmates going through cancer treatments. And it's just like, and it was normal. It was normal then, but not now. Yeah, like they should have focused more on that, but like they really didn't. They really, like the way that it came off as, and even my sister. Now my sister is pretty. I love her, but she is not political at all, and she's become a little bit more like informed. Just because every time I see her, I'm like, okay, Amanda, this is what you gotta know. This is what you gotta know. But still, like she's like, they didn't really go into information. She's like, I want to know like more. Like they just kind of touched on stuff, but then like they started talking about Planned Parenthood, and like they didn't make the connection about like how that's going to be something that impacts them, because like that just seems like something that's happening to somebody else. It made it seem like an outsider kind of a issue, and yeah, and it's especially like when you have, you know, a lot of like males and stuff, like they don't see how, I mean, even though like indirectly it does, you know, benefit them, you know, like if women are being treated and taken care of, like, you know, like for STIs and stuff, you know, then they're not getting it to like the guys and stuff, but like, I don't know, it just they didn't phrase it to where it was like, they didn't bring it home, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't put in a whole lot of information with it. Yeah, like that, and I've noticed, like, especially lately, we've had a lot more cancer, a lot of cancer lately. I don't know, maybe it's just anecdotal, but it just seems like everybody's talking about cancer. And I really do feel like it's gone up. I want to go look into it. I don't think that it's anecdotal, but, yeah. I mean, my son's grandma, she died from lung cancer, and maybe I'm just uneducated on this, but she never smoked a day in her life, never did anything like that. I mean, she was like, you know, little Christian lady, and so, you know, she wasn't like hard on her body, you know what I'm saying? Like she wasn't like out drinking, partying, like all this. She died of lung cancer, and like in her 50s. Like, how does that happen? That's so weird. Or, you know, my grandma, she died of, I think they said they didn't know, they said it was either pancreas or liver, but they didn't bother to test to see which one it was. And the whole thing was always fishy. I kept pushing it, but, you know, I didn't have medical power of attorney, and they wouldn't, I couldn't do anything about it. But she died of like either pancreatic or liver cancer. And then they do this report, and they show that DuPont's been dumping this chemical into her water that causes that cancer. And my brain still has not wrapped around that, because I swear to God, if I did actually like fully like let the weight of that really sink into my brain, like there would be a wrath that they have never known. Because I am so stubborn, I do not know how to give up, even when it's in my best interest. And I might be slow, okay? I don't have think tanks, but I don't give up. So it might take me a while, but I can take them down. I can take them down. And I will. Because I'm pretty sure that DuPont murdered my grandma, and she was my best friend, and she was a wonderful human being, and I can't even imagine all the other grandmas out there that they've killed and injured in their decades of poisoning people. And when you really sit there and you think about the gravity of that, and you think about all the individual people that this affects, it's like, you know, I just, yeah, I can't let it really process, because it would just be like this unholy fury. It really would be. It would not be good. So I have to stay calm, and I have to be, you know, practical and plan it and run their company. Yeah, coal dust. Coal dust is yeah. I remember just even the snow here. We can't even have like pretty white snow like everybody else. Like, our snow is black from coal dirt. From all these trucks, our houses are black from the coal dirt. I saw, there was a guy that lived next door to me, and he was walking his daughters home from school, and a coal truck overturned on top of them. He survived, and his two little girls didn't. You know, like, that's what coal is. That's what coal is. And then I have, you know, Jim Justice tell me that we should be grateful for all the things that coal has done to our community. And it makes me a little insane every time they say it. Every time that these people go and defend coal, it just makes me a little crazier, because I'm just like, yeah, have you seen somebody that was gone from the waist down because they got crushed in a coal mine? I mean, he literally had nothing from the waist down, belly button down. It was gone. And like, you can't see that and say, yeah, coal is great, we should continue that. And if you do, it's only because you're so well paid that you don't care. But I'm supposed to be grateful to this asshole that crushes that. You know, like, I don't know. And then, you know, you got people that have to defend it because that's their only way of life, and that's the only way that they can make money and take care of their family and stuff. So I get it. I get where those people are coming from. I don't fault them at all. I mean, I know that need. But Jim Justice doesn't have a need. You know, like, he doesn't. That's why I really do try. I know I keep saying, like, I don't want to get inside people's heads. I don't want to waste time. But, like, I try to understand what people are saying sometimes. I don't want to be like this, like, asshole that doesn't, like, listen to people or doesn't try to understand people, like, when they try to tell me about their perspective. Or I don't want to try to like, not take into account, like, their life, you know? And when I hear rich people, I cannot understand anything. It's such a foreign concept to me. I'm like, you're a billionaire. I can't, my brain, it's like trying to imagine a new collar, you know? Like, I can't think of that, or trying to imagine, like, what life would be like with, like, a new dimension. It's like, my brain cannot, it's never known anything to, like, base that, anything off of. I just can't understand people like that. And if I can't understand them, I can't understand how to defeat them. You know, and I really struggle with that, because I want to take them down so bad. They have to be taken down. So, I don't know. But I don't know any rich people that are willing to, like, explain it to me. Okay.
Rollerblade? We don't have money for insurance. I'm going to get to the mine. Here. Oh. Things are these. Where is it? And the old man? He was around you. The red. They took everything that's now in this time. Their father was in the lead, spreading like a bodacious storm.
I just watch? What the fuck? What? What did I just watch? Oh my god. Okay. Done. Like, I mean, I can't really be too surprised. I mean, I am surprised that they even acknowledged it at all. It just seems so weird that a cartoon would go there, you know? It seems, that's so weird. That's really weird. What? That's so weird. What? Okay. Hell, I'm so glad you showed me that. Well, yeah, it's kind of like the same thing they did in Zoolander, you know, like, oh, you know, he's so different, you know, like his family was like that coal miner or whatever. I don't know, something stupid. I mean, but that's what we've always done. We've always been the punchline, you know. And that's why I'm glad that Paula's running, because, you know, she totally just knocks that out of the water. Like, you can't do that with her. You know, it's not that, you know, she's not some idiot that's just, you know, defending Cole. You know, she's so informed. That's so crazy. Like, that's the thing. Like, most people don't even, like, that's like a big reason why I even start talking about this stuff, is because nobody else would. And then when nobody else talks about it, when you don't have that media presence, people will tell your story for you. And the people that can afford to go out there and tell the story are the people that want to hide the truth. And I got sick of it. I got sick of people saying, oh, well, all these, you know, violent Bernie bros and racist Trump supporters. It's just like, you put these people in the fucking corner. What did you expect? Yeah. That's so weird. That's not even like a kid thing. Like, that's supposed to be like a kid's cartoon. Like, how would a kid look at that and like, I mean, yeah. Oh god, I forgot about the cat. It's loose. It's somewhere. I'm just waiting for the cat one day, just while I'm recording, just and now it knows about that hole in the ceiling, and now it just keeps coming out there. I guess I should probably fix that. I don't know. I don't have time. Well, thank you. I guess it's just so weird to me. I don't even know if I could be pissed at it yet. It's just so weird for a kid's cartoon. It's so weird. I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know. Being mocked is like, it's almost one of those things, like, I'm almost used to it. I'm glad I'm not completely used to it, because, you know, you can't normalize that shit. But it is 2:30 in the morning, and I'm, as much as I love it, like, I love talking with people, and especially you, it's like, you get this, you get where I'm coming from, and you're smart, you know, like, you got information that I don't know about. I always like to talk to people that are smarter than me, because it's not going to do me any good if I talk to people, you know, that's going to bring it down. But yeah, I love having conversations. God. But yeah, I gotta fix that homeless thing, because that cat's driving me crazy. I gotta figure something out. And plus, my kid's gonna be up in like a couple hours for school, so I gotta wash clothes, and they gotta be dry. I don't have a dryer, so I gotta either dry them with a hair dryer, or I don't know, figure some shit out. This is life. God. All right, so we'll call tonight, and I'd like to do this again sometime. I don't even need soda. It's like my rage at the system just keeps me awake at all times. Every time I start to go to sleep, I'm like, yeah, Joe Manchin has a think tank of people that are like just sitting there thinking of ways to fuck me over. So like, I don't have time to sleep. No. Yep. All right. Good night. And just yeah, let me know next time you want to do this again. Yeah. Well, I'm signing out now. And hold on. Hold on. I'll figure this out. There we go.